Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting at my side. Today we're going to talk wrestling.
Yep,
Yeah,
imagine that.
I think we do that every so often, but yeah, so wrestling.
Bash some places.
Yeah. Who's bashing? Ain't nobody bashing.
That AEW was pretty damn rough.
Yeah. So Ring of Honor, MLW. I know that's on schedule for us to talk about today. Just kick this off. Follow Pro Wrestling Ego on Facebook, Instagram. We just locked in a date for 2021, and we're going to release that here shortly. But pretty excited that 2021 has already kicked off better than 2020 did for us. So
as long as nothing happens.
Yeah, as long as nothing happens, you know, fingers crossed. So hopefully everything works out well, and yeah, so looking forward to that. So
wish you luck.
Yeah, I need it. Ring of Honor Christmas special.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it?
I liked how they did the little interviews at the beginning.
Yep.
Where the guys talking. I thought that was really cool because I really didn't know who the hell any of these guys were.
I think that's my favorite part about the Ring of Honor product is they, even if you know them, you still get some, you know, a couple minutes of this is why we're doing this today kind of thing. So
they're so limited on what they can do, really match wise, and know people and all that. So you're having to give them more than what you usually do. You're getting damn near documentary style wrestling.
Yeah, and it's cool. I dig it. We got to see a dojo match.
Yeah.
It was a tag match. What'd you think? I don't remember all the guys that were in it.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't see the whole match. I was on the job, so I'm glancing up and down.
Yeah.
But everything I saw, I really liked, and I liked how they said, basically they took away their character, and now you are this guy, and you are this guy, and you are this guy, and you are this guy.
You're yourself. They stripped you down, nothing but black trunks, black boots. And I thought that was kind of cool. That's something John Davis has pitched to me several years back. He's like, instead of giving your students these ideas, just bring them out, black trunks, black boots, and then let them develop their own characters. And, you know, over time, they can morph from nothing to something instead of trying something and trying to get something over that might not work.
And it's basically Japan's young boy system.
Exactly. And it was cool to see it. You know, I think I like the concept that they all had the same gear, all had the logo on it, the dojo logo, which was kind of cool. Definitely a way to market your dojo. So very cool.
It becomes a who's better than who's situation. That's one of the words I'm looking for.
Yeah, I just like that concept.
Yeah.
So it definitely works in Ring of Honor. Like, I don't know, you know, how well it would work on a smaller independent like us.
It depends on how many students you have.
Right.
Honestly, I think.
Right,
if
but
you got
definitely
2
works
students,
that,
what's the
you know?
point? You know,
I mean, it definitely works at Ring of Honor.
If you got 5 to 6 students, I could see it working.
Yeah. And then we get Jay and Mark Briscoe opening packages, Christmas gifts.
Yes.
They are both captains of the annual Christmas 10-man tag, and Jay's team versus Mark team. I think opening packages was pretty cool. Jay was a little bland in his. He's like, I'll just keep picking from right here. I'll pick right here. Oh, no, well, let me switch. But Mark was definitely character.
Mark was all over the damn place like usual.
So I enjoyed it. And then we get the 10-man tag.
That's what I was trying to get
which was Jay. His team consists of, see if I can remember off the top of my head, the Brawler Milanos, which is part of the Bouncers.
Actually, it didn't say.
Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
And
trying to remember, bro. That's why I was open.
John Walters.
Yeah.
And then who was the other guy? Because that's only 4.
Because it was 5 total. Was it himself?
Jay, Brawler.
Was it
Flip?
The boys?
I think he was on the other team.
Was he on the other team? I just remember him being in the match. That's why I say I was hoping this would have it, and it didn't. But
Mark's team had... Oh, it was PCO.
Yeah, it was. Because it was actually his tag team partner from the pay-per-view.
Right.
Which was weird. So, yeah.
And then Mark team consists of Dak Draper, Dalton Castle, Beer City Bruiser, and who? Tracy Williams. That's who it was. Yeah. It was a really good match, kind of all over the place.
I thought it was fun.
A lot of
this, that, and the other.
A lot of kind of throwback to old school Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Everybody hit moves and that kind of thing. Overall, it was really good.
It was just more or less a fun show. It didn't really push anything story-wise or nothing like that, but just a
How scary was
show.
that PCO moonsault to the floor for you?
I didn't think he was going to go all the way over, and like the last second, his gravity just went, okay.
I'm like, that's like moonsault headbutt. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it
he
was
didn't
close.
get all the moonsault.
No.
Like,
I think his footing was off just a hair.
or something. I don't know what happened,
It
but
reminded me of...
it was like, let me do the moonsault, and he got to like right here and just kind of crashed down. I think when he landed that like on somebody, that's what made him go all the way
It
over.
reminded me when Brock went for the shooting star and didn't quite make it. Like I don't think his footing was right.
But as they say, PCO is not human, so it didn't kill him, luckily, and he was able to hit the PCO moonsault on Dak Draper for the win. So Team Jay Briscoe wins.
Yes.
They had Brian Johnson doing commentary, and oh man, I'm such a fan of this guy. Like, he is on point with everything they tried to set him up with. He just knocked it out of the park. Like, he had an answer for everything. He had a comment for everything. Dude is good, man. Like, he's super, super good. And there was one part that I don't know if he was, if I misheard it or what, but it was when Bruiser and Beer City, Beer City Brawler guy was in there. He was like, this reminds me of Johnny Saint and Mike Crapper. I'm pretty sure he said Mike Crapper, but he may not have, because he's like, or whatever that other people say it is.
God.
And it was pretty funny. So I don't know if he was maybe shooting on Mike Quackenbush, because he had a big thing with Johnny Saint, or if he was just setting it up as that was like some technical stuff he had been watching. But one of the guys like, no, more like Big Daddy and somebody instead of Johnny Saint.
Wow. Yeah.
So
I've seen a Big Daddy match.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
his commentary, I mean, he was on fire, man. Like, he was on fire. So that was the ROH Christmas special. So.
Yeah. And this week's was a little different. Like you said, I know you said you didn't watch it all, but it was more or less they were supposed to have this huge pay-per-view.
It was like past versus
Yes,
present.
and all these people were like heading to the pay-per-view, and all of a sudden they
was in
decided
Las Vegas.
Yeah, and Ring of Honor's like everything got shut down. This is the day everything got shut down. Just a hell of a weird coincidence. So some people were halfway there, others hadn't got on the plane yet, and some were all the way there and just got stuck. So from my understanding is they go like, okay, well, you're not having the show, but we need to put some stuff in bucket because we don't know when the hell we're going to be back.
Right.
So they asked who wants to wrestle, and people that raised their hand got to wrestle.
That's cool.
So
yeah, they released those matches during this episode, right? Or at least two of those matches?
They released two of them. And the rest was more or less like interview style of like, what happened? What did you think of it?
Basically how Ring of Honor
welcome back.
handled.
Yeah, in August, like what are we supposed to do? And now here it is months later, and they were talking about how this has just changed everything and how they've had to make shows like Happy Hour with the Beer City Bruiser. And
yeah, because think about it, I mean, like,
Brian
you're
Malone.
a TV, you have a contract with a television company.
you
You
gotta
have to
put out
deliver, some kind of content, but yet you can't meet. So what do? And they went to the wrestlers' houses and film stuff. So
Well, they said like they got lucky because Jay Lethal was there, and they were doing the best of Jay Lethal. They did the best of the guy from England,
Mark Haskins.
Mark Haskins. They did the best of a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and that's what they were trying to do, to just keep putting out product. And the guys were talking about doing these matches with nobody there, and how it was just so damn odd.
Right.
Like, this is usually a gimmick,
Yeah.
and they're like, but like it's not the same energy. You got to realize you're working for the camera
and not the,
and the people at home. And not the people there, and you're like, you do the move, and you're used to usually something or somebody saying something, and there's nobody doing jack, and you're just kind of looking at each other going, okay, next spot. So, it gets to where you really get away from having to play toward the crowd, but now you got to make this become a fight, a realistic fight. Because otherwise, you just like two jackasses standing in the ring staring at each other.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't go up to the corner and try to get claps or whatever. Clap for me. That don't work when nobody's there. So it's hard to slap hands.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they were more or less saying. And like, it was uncomfortable, but it was interesting at the same time. You kind of learned how to work it because they're still doing it now. And they were saying that, how this led actually into the pure title tournament.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed the tournament better without a crowd, I do believe, because I could concentrate more on the match.
Right, and it wasn't a lot of play to the crowd.
No.
It was like, let's get to business, and
This
I
was
dug
like
it.
damn near a collegiate style match in
Yeah.
a way with some of them, because it was just like a real fight,
Yeah,
like a UFC style fight.
What can you do? You got to do something, and by focusing on your opponent instead of the crowd, it helps bring that energy in.
Yes. But it was only 2 matches. It was Jay Lethal and the guy
Mark Haskins.
Mark Haskins. And it was an awesome match. I mean, really,
Who won
really good. Mark Haskins. He actually was using a sharpshooter, and Jay was like reaching for the tag, and Mark Haskins reached back, grabs his damn arm, and leans back with it.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, screw that.
Nice.
And but I've only seen him twice, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like you said, he's not a real tall guy. He's probably 5'10".
He's a smaller
5'11".
guy, and I think that's what hurts him a little bit.
But awesome wrestler, and his wife's out there, and she isn't somebody that just interferes. I don't think she interfered maybe once, and I don't think she really did anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like a slight distraction. I mean, it wasn't enough to even
Kind
really
of like
count.
Miss Elizabeth type.
Yeah, more or less. And I enjoyed the hell out of the match.
What was the other match?
That's what I was trying to remember. No, they don't have it online.
Bandito and Flip Gordon.
Yes, Bandino and Flip, and I swear every time I watch Flip, I become less of a fan, and I can't help it. He just does stuff I don't get it, I don't like it, and I don't know why.
I know. I remember when Flip was a really, really big thing.
Did you watch this match?
I didn't.
He did like, I swear, 20 nip-ups in his freaking match, and it was just driving me insane. I'm just like, please stop. I get you're athletic, but just stop.
Well, see what it is. He's turning heel, so he's going to do stuff to
Oh,
make us
just,
fat,
man.
unathletic people hate him. That's what it is.
It was really just annoying, and I don't know why a nip up bothered me, but he did it so many
much,
times in
yeah.
this damn match, and I'm like, bro, just get up like everybody else.
Yeah, you can definitely go to the well too many times,
And it was
some
just
people's
like-
got to learn that.
And my thought process is, why hasn't Bandito realized what he's doing yet and drop a damn elbow on him as he's coming up or something?
Makes everybody look stupid.
I mean, it really did, and that's what I thought. I was like, this just makes Bandito look like a freaking moron. And besides that, it was a really good match. If anybody goes watch it, tell me that Sun Gun don't do at least 15 damn nip-ups. I may be pushing on 20, but at least
I may have
15.
to go watch it.
I'm not joking, but it's about to drive me insane.
That's pretty funny.
I'm just like, you little bastard, Oh my God. I mean, I'm just a brawler. I couldn't do a nip-up if you paid me 50. So
I'm gonna beep that out.
oh, that made me mad.
That's why they call him the Madman. He gets mad when you nip up.
20 times or 15, whatever the number was. Go watch it. You'll see what I mean.
So overall, pretty good stuff though.
I liked it because it really was like a documentary style show more than
I
ever.
enjoyed it. It was just, I don't know, something happened.
Well, some people are tired of hearing about COVID, but this was, to
Maybe
me,
that's what happened to me.
it's like how they did a workaround and made all this stuff
It
work.
it was probably something I'd enjoy a different
If you look
day.
at it business-wise, you'll enjoy it more, because that's why I was like, well, how the hell did they pull this off?
Right.
And we'll end it a little bit with a Ring of Honor with the villain Marty Scurll is now no longer with Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm reading. WWE is interested in him, and I'm like, I hope they get him. I don't know about all the Me Too crap. That's on them. That's his little personal problems, not mine. I think he's a great wrestler. I'm not into his personal life. I say WWE should hire him. I say AEW should hire him. I say somebody should hire him. The guy's a great wrestler.
Well, I mean, you make, I try to teach my kids is like you make choices and those choices have consequences.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. He's made choices. If he's paid for those crimes, then fine. Like I don't think you should be prosecuted for something forever unless you're like, serial rapist or murdering kids or something like that.
Like I said, I never understood the whole Me Too thing. I know some of the sexual stuff and just manipulating people and all this other stuff. I don't know.
My thought is, and this may be me being inconsiderate, but if people do something, and this just isn't about him, but if somebody does something and it's against the law, don't go to Facebook and Twitter to complain. Go to the cops.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
So, That's my thing, is go and let's get these people off the street. You know,
Well,
like,
I mean-
oh, well, you know, we ruined his, you know, let's just say they ruined his career. Now he can't wrestle anymore. Okay, so now he has more time to go commit rape or whatever they're doing, you know?
Well, my thing is, was there proof or was it just accusations? I don't know how all that worked. I didn't go into it. It didn't.
There's a lot of
interest
that
me.
stuff
I
that
was just like, this is
once it was
crazy.
over, it was done with. Some people
Yeah.
have recovered. Some people's lives are right back to where they were. They took a couple weeks off of social media.
Yep.
Ooh, you know, and now they're right back to business. So, you know, who knows?
I'm just saying, as a wrestler, he's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like Chris Benoit. I hate what he did with his family, but I can go watch his match anytime I want.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of actors that I love their movies,
know,
but I
but
probably
I'm
don't
just
like
saying-
anything they do in their real life.
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
so
you got to respect somebody in the ring. I mean, what he does outside, that's
Right.
his own life.
you may like the character they portray, but maybe
Yes,
not the
yes,
person. I
yes,
got
yes,
you.
yes.
But I watched MLW Fusion. I don't know if this is like the latest one, but it was the end of the Opera Cup.
No, it's next to last because
okay.
the newest one will be out today.
Okay, so it's the end of the Opera Cup. It starts off with the Dirty Blondes with Colonel Rob Parker's girlfriend, Ariel Blake, who's like 20. So Rob, you know, Colonel Rob should probably be in this Me Too movement.
No, give me that crap.
So
No, as long
you
as
know,
she's doing on her willing own
80,
mind,
yeah,
she's
but
good.
88 years old and 20
Hey,
years
some
old. There's a
people
lot.
like it that way. I've dated younger, I've dated older. I ain't saying
So-
that. As long as they are legal age.
Yeah, so this is kind of funny, but I get why they're doing it, because Colonel Rob's probably not in the best of health. He probably can't make all the TV tapings, whatever.
So she's there as a backup manager.
Yep, so she's backup manager. She's the girlfriend, the debutante, and she's managing the Dirty Blondes. And they seem to be pushing them. They're leading toward a feud with the Von Erichs,
Okay.
because Ariel tried to recruit the Von Erichs into the stud stable, and they turned her down. So now the Dirty Blondes are coming after them, which is, you don't know how smart that is. She was trying to recruit a tag team that could possibly replace you in the stud stable. So,
I don't
you know.
really think so, but okay.
But, yeah, so they faced Ariel Dominguez and another guy who was not much bigger than Ariel. He was bigger, but not much bigger. And pretty much a squash.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. But it was cool. They put over how Michael Patrick had mentored Leo Bryant, and how he was like Michael Patrick's trained by Steve Kern, and he definitely has a Steve Kern look to him. He's almost morphing into the freaking Skinner, the alligator hunter over there.
If he starts spitting stuff.
Yeah, he's like a cross between Steve, is like one of the fabulous ones, and the Skinner. Like if they had a baby, it'd be Michael Patrick. So
a gator claw.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Skinner is?
yeah, so
A really shitty hat and a shitty shirt.
Yep. And so beat them down. Then we get, just to kind of catch you up to date with the Hammerstone Contra stuff, and how the Black Hand of Contra is attacked him and all that kind of stuff.
That real huge dude.
Yeah. I have a feeling
It's not who I thought it was.
I have a feeling you may be the only Logan Creed in wrestling anymore.
Why is that?
Because now the Black Hand is called Mads Kruger.
Okay.
Not saying I know who he is, but if I had to guess, I'd say you're the only Logan Creed in wrestling.
Well, there was three of us at one point. I was the first and original, but who knows?
So that's who I'm thinking it is. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I could be wrong,
I don't know.
because
Well,
I
he's
only
got a
saw
big old beard.
I only saw clips of it. Oh, he had a mask on.
Yeah, well, who knows?
So I think he borrowed Mississippi Madman's mask.
That's an old one. Honestly, I wore a thing one time. It's so damn hot. I'm like, yep,
Yep.
this ain't happening.
But they kind of give you kind of up to date on what's going on there,
Right.
and they are fighting at the King of Coliseum show they're coming up, which is going to be tomorrow night, Wednesday. Today's what, the 5th? Oh, it's the 6th,
Six.
January 6th. I don't know when this is coming out. It may be last Wednesday. But yeah, they're going to do that on YouTube for free, so
Okay.
be something to check out. And
Might do
then
that.
we get a cool promo from Myron Reed, the young goat. I'm assuming maybe he was building to something with Leo Rush, and I guess Leo didn't show up.
Okay.
Or maybe he showed up and left the match. Or I don't know. I wasn't up to date
haven't
what
seen
actually
it. No,
happened.
me neither.
But basically, he said, "I don't blame you for running scared. You know, You ain't about the money, you about the sense. You don't make no sense. You stupid, you dumb, you scared, whatever. But it was a cool promo with him, and Myron is going to defend his title against your new favorite, Roosh.
God, really?
So, gonna be fun.
That's a hell of a crossover. MLW and the ROH.
Yep. So yeah, then we get main event was the finals for the Opera Cup, and it was Tom Lawler against Low Key. Phenomenal match. Not gonna say one-sided, but at times it felt one-sided. It's Tom doing most of the damage, and had a really cool finish. And won't spoil the finish, but I will tell you who won. And Tom Lawler is your new Opera Cup champion. So,
I said Lawler, to me, he's one of those guys. When I first started watching him, he was kind of boring.
yeah.
But then he started getting a little more character to him, and I started liking him more and more.
I think I have a love-hate with him. Sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him. It all depends on, like, there used to be a thing, like, you don't know what Eddie Kingston's going to show up. If you get Gear Eddie, you're in for a great night. If you get basketball shorts, you're in for a terrible night.
Edwards.
No, Eddie Kingston.
Okay, my bad.
And sometimes I feel like that with Tom Lawler. And not that he does anything wrong or bad or whatever, it's just sometimes I think his matches are better than others.
No, I agree with that. But he was one of them. At first, I hated his promos. God, they were so bland. Yeah. But now they're entertaining.
But they're bland. You just you're used to them now, I think.
I don't think so. I think he just got a little more entertaining with his character.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's been this week in wrestling for us. And until next time,
watch wrestling.
Watch wrestling.